Díomh Cordia agus all Fáilte of Galéir. You're all very welcome along here today to the East Mayo Hurling Heartlands of Ballyhaunis for the Mayo Senior Hurling Club Championship Final between Ballyhaunis and Tooreen. I'm Oisin McGovern, and joining me on co-commentary today, just 5 minutes from throw-in here, is Tom Phillips, who's a selector with the Mayo Senior Hurling team and has had a foot in both camps, it's fair to say, as a former player with both Ballyhaunis and Tooreen. How are you keeping today, Tom?
Absolutely super. This is the place to be. Nowhere else would anyone want to be. 32 county finals on the country this year, and this is one of them. So looking forward to a great game between two great rivals and two great bunches of friends.
Certainly, and a very drizzly sort of a day, but mild and nonetheless, and not an awful lot of wind out there today. Both teams lining out. We'll just give you the teams here now, starting with the touring team first. In goal we have Bobby Douglas, and in the full-back line we have Gary Nolan, Michael Morley and Daniel Juan. In the half-back line we have David Kenny, Stephen Coyne and Joe Boyle, and in midfield we've one change there. Cathal Freeman is in for John Cassidy, and partnering him at midfield is Conor Henry. At the half-forward line we have Sean Kenny, Liam Lavin and Fergal Boland. Full forward line, one change again there. We have Sean Regan in for Oisin Greeley, and partnering him is Owen Delaney and captain of Ornia, Shane Boland. And the Ballyhaunis team now, in goal we have Donal O'Brien, captain Adrian Brennan, and partnered in the full-back line by Austin Lyons and Brian Hunt. And the half-back line we have Callum Gardner, Owen Collins and Mark Phillips. Midfield we have Kieran Kiley, who's and partnering him at midfield is Jason Coyne, who starts in place of Sean Griffin. The half-forward line, James Lyons, Keith Higgins and Stephen Hoban. Full forward line is made up by Owen Rowe, Adrian Phillips and Cormac Phillips. So first of all, just to yourself, Tom, and maybe just to start off, just to talk about a comment made by well, actually we're just about to have the national anthem here now.
There's a minute's silence for the young lad in Kilkenny that died from St. Kieran's College.
Yeah. Just going to observe a moment's silence here for a young man that tragically lost his life in St. Kieran's College in Kilkenny there earlier in the week. Yes, Shaker of Alan Bealish. And Ish or Ron Naveen. The heart of Mayo hurling is alive and well and very much starting to beat here rapidly here in Ballyhaunis as these two titans of Mayo hurling face off for the 12th time in 14 seasons. Tooreen wearing the blue and white and Ballyhaunis wearing the black and red. Referee for today's match is Adrian McSivna. Ball thrown in here, and we're underway here for the 2021 Mayo Senior Club Hurling Final between Tooreen and Ballyhaunis. It's in the Tooreen full back line now. It's the number 3 Michael Morley that gets it. Driving it down the field there to the full back line. Fergal Boland gets a hold of it. Boland wearing the green helmet and wins a free there very early on. Boland, of course, known to many as a member of the Mayo Senior Football Panel, but wearing a free there early on. Going to be picked up there by the captain of the team, number 15, Shane Boland. He's 27 years of age, has 4 senior hurling championship medals. Of course, Tooreen have won the last 3 Mayo senior hurling titles before Ballyhaunis defeated them last year. And of course, a unique occasion in many ways in that Tooreen are currently the reigning Connacht champions, given that there was no Connacht championship played last year on account of COVID. And Ballyhaunis then are the county champions, and it's Tooreen that have just gotten off the mark there. Shane Boland them getting off to a good start there. A couple of changes there earlier on, Tom. What are your thoughts on them?
Yeah, the changes in the Tooreen team were to be expected. You know, like you've Cathal Freeman and Sean Regan there, who weren't listed on the teams to start on the 2 programmes. But the 2 lads lined out in Crow Park this year, so unless they were injured, it would be a surprise if they didn't tog out today. But they are on, both playing very well here at the moment.
David Kinney just wrestles the ball away here now. It's driven down here to Fergal Boland again. Boland taking the ball, gives it off, but referee spots an infringement there, and it's going to be a free into Ballyhaunis, I believe. Within the range, Tom, do you think?
It's probably Keith that'll be taking it, so it'll be well within his range. He's unerring, and the Tooreen lads always have a slag about him. They say that, like if they usually a Tooreen jersey up at the back of the Tooreen goalkeeper, and he usually aims for that, so he never misses against Tooreen is the usual thing. But yeah, I'd expect him to put this one over as well within his range. However, it is his first one, so we'll have just to wait and see.
Of course, Keith Higgins, a man who needs absolutely no introduction to anyone. Last year was his first year concentrating solely on hurling for the Mayo team. He's been in and out of the panel over the years, but established himself as a footballer. He hit 112 in his last game against Castlebar. He's about to get his first here today, if he has the accuracy. And it's going to drift up and over the bar. Good start for Ballyhaunis there, Tom.
Excellent start, yeah. So it's supposed to be expected, it'll be nip and tuck for the first 15 minutes. That's what I'd expect anyway, Both lads trying to suss one another out, like most matches up to this so far. No disrespect to the other teams, but they've been really shadow boxing. This is the match that everyone of them wanted to be playing in.
The ball caught there. And Carl Freeman wins the free in there. Carl Freeman, of course, man that suffered a horrific injury there when he was playing for the county there recently, just winning that free in there. And this one definitely you'd imagine straight over the bar, Tom.
Yeah, I'd be surprised if it didn't go straight over the bar. It's right in front of the goal, like Shane has scored. I've been watching him, for the county team over the last 3 years, and like he very seldom misses. Like he's unerring, pound for pound, superb hurler.
Boland. That's going to be an easy score for Shane Boland. 2-1 to Tooreen here in Ballyhaunis. Boland with his second of the afternoon there. In case anyone has just joined us late. And they're driven out by the Ballyhaunis goalkeeper Donal O'Brien, originally from the Silver Mines Club in Tipperary. Plays his hurling up here now. One row trying to win that ball there. Michael Morley with the ball, driving it down the field there. Intercepted there by the Ballyhaunis cornerback Adrian Brennan, who's co-captain of the team there today. Another infringement spotted there. That's going to be a free in. Owen Collins wasting no time with that one. But Bit of a poor ball in the end, and it ends up back in the hands of Tooreen. Ball down here again. Tried to win back there by Shane Boland, but it's Ballyhaunis to get it back again. Callum Gardner has it now. Ball won back by Tooreen. It's James Lyons that gets it up here again. Ballyhaunis on the counter attack. It's with Owen Rowe now. Owen Rowe driving it into Keith Higgins there, wearing number 11, but operating on the full forward line. The man they used to call Zippy tries to get away from his man. Keith shortens the grip, takes a shot, but it's going to drift to the left and wide. And Keith Higgins just showing how dangerous he is there, Tom.
Oh yeah, like he's deadly in front of goal. If any team might ever be picking out of Keith in front of goal, like he's probably the greatest assassin hurling-wise in Mayo. And the number one place I'd have him is in the full forward line, which is where he is. You know, so hopefully we'll see a good bit of him inside there today.
Tooreen working the ball out here slowly. Approximately 7 minutes gone here in this 2021 Mayo Senior Club Championship final. Tooreen 2 points to 1 ahead. Ballyhaunis winning it back though. Owen Collins again. Man from Clare. Gives it here to Kieran Kiley, the captain. Adrian Phillips has it now. One of many players who's played with the Ballyhaunis footballers, who are also interestingly lining out in the county final in a week's time when they face off against Mayo Gales. Ball driven down there by Mark Phillips, but again Tooreen just intercepting so much ball, and it's going to be a free out again. Yeah, Sean Kenny standing over to here now. Training national school teacher. 3 senior hurling titles to his name already. And a brother, of course, of David Kenny, former Mayo under 21 and Mayo minor footballer. He's a good 70 or 80 yards out from the goal, but it's not going to have the power. And it's going to drop harmlessly short to the Ballyhaunis full back line here now. And Hornets are going to counter-attack here again. Kieran Kiley down here to Stephen Hoban. Nice little pop pass there to Callum Gardner. Kieran Kiley has it again here now. Kiley, the ball across the field. Nice little clever ball there. And it's with Mark Phillips. Phillips. Good ball inside there, but it's won by Keith Higgins. Keith Higgins turns shots, and has it gone into the net? No, it hasn't. Keith's just scrambling to get it back there. Just seemed to miss-hit his shot at the last minute there, and can Tooreen get it out? And eventually it drifts out for a 65. That was a close one.
Yeah, that was a very close one. Commentator's curse, just after what I was saying about poor Keith. You know, the ideal position, ideal ball into his hand, but he was surrounded and couldn't get his shot in. Usually expect him to have the net rattling at that stage. But Ballyhaunis playing extremely well, you know, at the moment. Like a very good match between both teams. Like, you know, like it's nip and tuck the whole time. Some great hurling, great hand passing, great running off the ball. So great to see.
In the end, it's going to be fairly straightforward free here in front of the goal. I beg your pardon, yeah, 65 out here. Keith Higgins right in the middle of the field. He's taking no time at all. This brother, of course, of Pierce Higgins, a man who's involved with the Ballyhaunis team now, played with the club for many years. But that one just drifts to the left and wide, unfortunately. Trying to get the restart here. All driven out by Bobby Douglas into their own 45-yard line, and it's going to be swept up here by Callum Gardner. Gardner tries to get the ball out. Shakes off, wins the challenge. Gardner, yet another member of the Ballyhaunis football panel, and it's the goalie that's going to come up and take this one. Try and hit. Yeah, you're expecting to score, Tom, yeah.
Yeah, I'd expect Downey to, get the distance down there. I know anyone looking in from TV, it looks a long way, but I've seen Downey put these over before. He's a brilliant long striker of a ball.
He gets fair distance on that. It's not going to have the required distance, unfortunately. And it's Tooreen's Daniel Juan that tries to get the ball back, but won again by Ballyhaunis, and it's Adrian Phillips with the shot, dropping it into the danger zone. And it's dropped into the goal. Adrian Phillips tries to hit it into the danger zone, and it's a green flag for Ballyhaunis.
Yeah, a goal there for Ballyhaunis. Big high ball dropped in by Adrian Phillips, who's playing in the corner forward, but a big high ball hit in from the left-hand side. Bobby had it in his hand, but dropped it, and I suppose that's what happens on a day like today when you have the wet underfoot conditions.
Certainly a big setback for Ballyhaunis here, or for Tooreen rather, at the minute. They're trailing by 1-1 to 2 points, and it looks like it's going to be a cart of bui there for Adrian Brennan, the captain, by referee Adrian McSigna.
It's an unusual thing here today as well that Aidan McSivna that's refereeing the match. I suppose himself and his father have a bit of history created today, that both of them have refereed county finals here in Mayo. Aidan's father refereed an All-Ireland hurling final in Croke Park back about 20 years ago.
And making history every day, of course. Ball won back there by Stephen Hoban. Oh, that's a fine score by Stephen Hoban from way out the field. But the referee...
Excellent score there, yeah. Brilliant primary possession one. Took 2 or 3 steps and drew it straight over the bar. Great way to respond to scoring a goal is to score a point, because usually the other team comes down and gets a score, which knocks it back to 2 points. But a brilliant score there by Stephen.
Yeah, it looks like there's a player down here on the far side, number 15 rather. Shane Boland, the Tooreen captain. Looks like he'll be okay. Boland, thankfully, back on his feet again. Driving it back out the field again. Boland is on his feet again. Man who won a Nicky Racker with Mayo in 2016. And the referee spotted something there, and it's going to be fairly routine free to Tooreen. Some of the players certainly not happy there. It was difficult to make out exactly what was spotted there, Tom.
Absolutely, yeah. But like I think that goal has sort of woken Tooreen up. You know, they've got a little bit more aggressive now on the tackle. And so Ballyhaunis, they're not standing back. You'd expect that from these guys. Like, these guys have been in school together, they've been in college together. You know, there's brothers going out with sisters, and sisters going out with other lads' brothers. So like, there's a bit of pride there. You know, so they're hurling against one another extremely well. And I'd expect nothing else but a good, hard, tough match between both of them.
Boland knocking that one over fairly easy. Of course, the bulk of the Mayo panel made up by these two clubs, so it's the very best of Mayo hurling on show here today, it has to be said. Owen O'Brien from Tipperary driving that ball out. They all go up for it, but in the end it falls to the number 26, Stephen Coyne. Coyne pops it off to Joe Boyle, the man originally from Donegal, has won 10 Donegal Senior County Championships with Burt before he started hurling down here recently. And that seemed like a bit of a late challenge there by Liam Lavin. It's not going to be a booking, and Owen Collins is certainly letting Tooreen know. And as JP Cohen was saying earlier on in one of the papers, whoever's going to do the dog today will win this game. The lads getting to know each other out there, I'd say, Tom.
Oh, they are, yeah. Like, you know, like it was always to be expected. Like, I thought that had happened in the first 5 minutes, but like it took the goal there to wake Tooreen up. You'd expect that. Like, there's no love lost between them. There'll be a bit of pulling and dragging and pushing and shoving for a while. But like, you know, up to that, there was absolutely brilliant hurling. You know, every side of the field. So it'd be a shame to see that creep into it for the next 10 or 15 minutes. But hopefully it'll settle down a little bit. I was expecting that at some stage. Hopefully that's it over now.
And of course, just to announce them again, there's 2 changes to the Tooreen team. John Cassidy and Oisin Greeley are replaced by Cathal Freeman and Sean Regan, and likewise in the Ballyhaunis team, Jason Coyne is starting there in place of Sean Griffin. Higgins with a free over here on the left hand side from a difficult angle, it has to be said. And it's just going to drift to the right and wide, unfortunately. This Ballyhaunis' second wide of the afternoon. Tooreen in their 10th county final in a row, currently trailing here. Because they were denied a drive for 4 in a row last year when Ballyhaunis defeated them in the final. Yet to be beaten this year, Tooreen as well. But certainly Ballyhaunis look to be putting an end to that winning streak, but there's a long way to go yet. Standing in front of me here now. It's Sean. Sean Regan, the man originally from Ballina. Draws on it, but it's a poor ball in. It's going to be gathered up fairly easily there by Owen Collins. Collins driving it back out the field. Adrian Phillips wins it back again, but he's under pressure from David Kenny. And Phillips looking for the foul, but nothing doing yet. But eventually, referee says it's going to be a free to Tooreen. Adrian just talking with his linesman there, John Walker. And it's actually going to be a throw in here, it appears. Certainly love lost between either of these teams, and it's going to be second yellow card of the afternoon here now, it would appear. And it's the cornerback Gary Nolan getting his name taken in the book. Thrown in there now eventually. Michael Morley emerged with the ball, but he's put out over the sideline. It's going to be line ball to Ballyhaunis, or to used to be a bit of confusion over where the free is. Yeah, and the referee decides he's going to bring it forward. Free to Tooreen, and they're all shouting here, water break all around me. So 15 minutes gone here now, and it's Ballyhaunis ahead by 1, 2 to 3 points. Well, there always tend to be fire occasions. That hasn't disappointed so far, Tom.
Oh, it hasn't disappointed so far, no, and I think the ref did the right thing in calling the water break there, because like it was getting a bit hot and heavy there at one stage, so hopefully it'll cool down. Teams would reassess and things like that. I suppose the difference between the two teams at the moment, 1, 2 to 3 points. Ballyhaunis has scored 1-1 from play. Tooreen's 3 points have come from frees, so Tooreen haven't scored from play yet, which is surprising. I'd expect them to get a couple of long-range points from out around where we are here at the moment.
Yeah, and just curious, the fact that Ballyhaunis, I believe, have 16 players preparing for another county final in a week's time, how will that have impacted their preparations, do you think?
I don't think it's impacted the preparations that much, because like I think the way that the two team managers worked together, that they had hurling one weekend, or whatever weekends there was a hurling match on, they hurled that weekend, and football the other weekend. So, you know, like I know there's about 14, 16 different players there that are dual players. The one thing I would worry about with Ballyhaunis is that since the beginning of June, they've done only 4 free weekends, which is a huge thing, and they have played 19 games in the last 21 weeks. You know, which is a huge amount to take out of lads. You know, like so, but you know, it's not shown today. Like, they look to be the fresher team there in the first 15 minutes.
And they're ready to resume proceedings here in Ballyhaunis, right in the heart of Mayo hurling. It's currently the home side that are in the lead here, seeking to dethrone the Connacht champions. Of course, whoever wins this game will go on to play the Roscommon champions on either the 27th or the 28th of November. In case anyone is curious, there will be a winner here on the day, extra time, and if that doesn't produce a winner, it'll be penalties. It's Tooreen with the restart here. Sean Kenny standing over it. Another member of the Mayo panel, along with his brother David. Slight breeze out there having a minor impact. It's driven into the danger zone there. and it's gone up and over the bar. Well, excellent score there by Sean Kenny.
Yeah, Sean's an excellent long range free taker. Even with Mayo, like we used to have Sean taking the long range ones and Shaney taking the ones in. Sean's extremely good at them, you know. Like so, Anthony from around the middle of the field inwards, he's extremely good at.
As Tooreen emerged with the ball again, it's 26 Stephen Coyne to Joe Boyle. Boyle under pressure, but he gets to his feet again. Some Coyne for a free, and players getting to know each other yet again. Adrian Phillips appears to have been the man who scored the goal, of course, if you remember early on. Appears to have been fouled there. And yet another injury. Well, the physios are going to seem to be kept busy here today, Tom.
Yeah, the physios are kept busy there. Yeah, I think the last little tussle was between Joe Boyle and Kieran McDermott, and you know he hit him his shoulder, put him on his back, and I suppose Kieran said to him, "Welcome to your first county final." Joe's originally from Donegal. He's living out the road here in Bacon, which is fiancée Maria Morley. So like his first county final was a big day for him. Great to see him here, and great to see the likes of that talent here as well. We met him last year in Croke Park at the Nicky Record final as well. He played there, scored I think it was a point from play that day against us. Today we lost by 2 points.
Keith Higgins hitting his second point of the afternoon. Brings the deficit back to 2. Of course, Joe Boyle would know, for Donegal man, he'd know a lot of these players better than most, having played against them in the Nicky Rackard final in Croke Park last year for Donegal. Boland with the shot, and Boland with the score. Excellent response from Tooreen.
Super response. That's their first point from play, which is, you know, like on 17 minutes from Shane Boland. Very accuracy, you know, left-handed on top, very wristy hurler.
Driven out long there by Donal O'Brien. Down into the melting pot. And out comes David Kenny with the ball. Wearing the yellow helmet. A lovely little dispossession there by Kieran Kiley, but Tooreen get it back again, and it's Cathal Freeman who gets it back there, and Tooreen appear to be on the way back.
Yeah, second point from play there. Brian Hunt there had plenty of time to clear it, I suppose, which was a problem that he should have cleared it an awful lot quicker. Blocked down by Cathal, took it and hit over the bar on the left. Great score.
Excellent score by Freeman, medical student in University of Limerick, raised over 70,000 there last year when he ran a marathon with a solo and a hurl in his hand outside the campus in University of Limerick, and has played with the Ahamore footballers a good bit over the years as well. Owen Delaney on the overlap here to Boland, who's getting on a lot of ball. Shane Boland with the shot, and another score for Tooreen.
Another score for Tooreen there. I don't know what was underwater there at the water break, but it's certainly done the work for them. I think once they start hurling rather than getting into the physical stuff, it suits them an awful lot better.
And that's Boland's third point already today. And that again by Donal O'Brien. Tooreen taking the lead only for the third time. Real clash of the ash there between two players. Scooped up here by Fergal Boland. Fergal gets away from Owen Collins. Oh, a nice little hook by Collins, but it appears that Boland has won the free in.
Yeah, what do you call him? Fergal that won the free there, yeah. Brilliant hurler. I was watching him there and I counted 7 steps he took before he got the free. You know, I thought it would be the free the other way, but look, that's the way things go. All these things level out and even out at the end of a match.
Yeah, certainly if you were to analyse the amount of steps that players take in a game, I mean, you'd find, in my own opinion, you'd find a lot more guys taking a lot more than 4 on several occasions, but I suppose the difference between quick steps and slow steps, as they say, but
that's it, but the first 2 steps are the first 2 to get you going, so I don't think they count those.
Well, certainly that's a debate for another day. Maybe there'll be a special congress on it someday, we don't know. Shane Boland standing over this again. Regular, of course, on the Mayo panel, like a lot of guys playing here today. works in the Department of Agriculture in Kildare. That's a third yellow card there by referee Adrian McSibna that he's given out today. Certainly no love lost, nothing spared between either of these two sides.
Oh no, there's not a tight mark, like both sets of backs are limpid, like they stick to the fellas as hard as they can, you know, and there'll be always a little bit of that pulling and dragging.
Boland pulls on it again, but it's just drift, unfortunately, to the right and wide. Rare error by Shane Boland, who's been probably the best player on the field so far, you'd have to say, Tom.
Oh yeah, very rare by Shane. You know, he just pulled it, like even when he struck it, like he sort of, you know, in golfing terms, he sort of, you could see his feet move there, but usually he sent them over the bar. Yeah, pound for pound, like he's a brilliant hurler. His first touch, his layoffs and everything. He's doing an awful lot of work. He's been brought out from corner forward to wing forward for a reason.
Adrian Phillips getting stuck in there yet again. And Joe Boyle has gone to ground there, but he's up again. Certainly it's rarely you see a man go down and stay down at this part of the world in this when the stakes are this high. And it's going to be a free for Ballyhaunis on the right hand side. James Lyons just standing over this one.
I think this one is a sideline cut rather than a free. It's a sideline cut. Great sideline cut over the far side.
Yeah, he had the distance on it but didn't have the accuracy. And Tooreen on the counter-attack again here now. Fergal Boland. Boland goes past Owen Collins. Boland, of course, the man with all the skills in hurling and football. Liam Lavin now. Lavin to Sean Kenny. Kenny go over here, gets it to Shane Boland, the danger man. Lovely ball across there. It's Cathal Freeman that has it. Freeman turns, shoots, and Freeman puts Tooreen 2 points ahead.
Yeah, great score there by Tooreen. Like very well, but great ball played down there. Like sideline cut went to Shane. Shane laid it off, kept running, got the ball back, looked up, spotted Cathal on the far side, and straight over the bar. I think that's Cahill's second point from play there, which is brilliant.
Yeah, just on your screen there, another injury, unfortunately, to the captain Adrian Brennan. Certainly, there's been plenty of belts been given and taken in. Some of which you can see on your screen there at the minute.
Oh, absolutely, like there's no love lost there. There's plenty of shouldering, and you know, if there were like two cattle, you'd say they were pucking around in the field. I think the big surprise to Ballyhaunis today was to see Cathal Freeman in full forward. They wouldn't have expected to see him there. He scored 2 points from play, which is great. You'd usually see Cathal out around the half-back line, midfielder, half-forward line, so it's unusual to see him in there. I know for the county team he played centre forward for us, but he's doing extremely well in full forward today. 2 points in play.
Certainly Cathal Freeman, a very versatile player, has all the skills in football as well, and lined out regularly from Mahamore over the years. Also played on the Mayo senior panel in 2012. Started at centre forward against Tooreen in the National League game. Ballyhaunis getting it out again, trying to claw back some of that 2 point deficit. The long ball in again to Phillips, but Tooreen turned it over yet again. Good ball across here for Boland to contest, but it's James Lyons that gets to it, and it's going to be a free in. Lyons just seemed to connect with him a bit late there.
Yeah, I know, it's just the two guys with their two eyes on the ball and clashed into one another. There was nothing sinister or anything like that about it. Just two lads going for the ball. One that came off worse than the other. Unfortunately for poor Shaney, they came off the worst there.
Nearly 25 minutes gone here now in Ballyhaunis in this Mayo Senior Club Championship final, of course. Both teams trying to obviously become the county champions, but as JP Cohn said, for Ballyhaunis, they very much have their sights set on trying to kickstart their Connacht campaign as well if they can get over the line here. The referee decided it's going to be a free into Ballyhaunis. Keith Higgins doesn't want to waste any time here. Higgins floats it into the danger zone, but it's going to fall short, and Bobby Douglas is going to take that ball out again. Adrian Phillips Ballyhaunis' most dangerous player. He's at 2 points already today. We're just trying to work it out to the hands, but it's won back yet again by Ballyhaunis, and it's going to be a free in. Well, you have to say Adrian Phillips is working very hard in there, and has paid dividends there yet again on that occasion.
Yeah, he works extremely hard and does an awful lot of work. You know, like I suppose in rugby they call it unseen. You know, an awful lot of unseen work. The lot of schmozzle in there on that ball. Like he got it there in the middle of the field and took a free. He took it very fast. I don't know what he was thinking. Like usually he'd throw it over the bar. You know, like he's now taking a free, which is the same as, which is closer in than the one that he took before. But if he threw the first one over the bar, like it's been an awful lot different. You know.
And Higgins yet again standing over this one. 4-time football all-star with Mayo. In the eyes of Manning, one of the best players never to win in All-Ireland. Lined out here in the red and black of Ballyhaunis today. Higgins to hit his third of the afternoon. Higgins, as you'd expect, makes no mistake there. There's an army of ball boys back there ready to willingly mop that one up. And just on the restart here now, David Kenny to Conor Henry. Henry has 2 Ballyhaunis men on his case there. Ball given away needlessly out to Adrian Phillips. Stephen Holman has it now, but he's hooked expertly there. Fergal Boland tries to get out again, and it's going to be a free out. Just in front of me here, this appears there's going to be 3 minutes of added time here. This Mayo Senior Club Hurling Championship final. And Sean Kenny, the specialist free taker on the Tooreen team, just after coming all the way back there to try and, if not put it over the bar, put it in among the danger zone. Kenny, 22-year-old, drops it in. It's dangerous, and the player gets a hook on it. Danger here for Ballyhaunis. If a Tooreen man can connect it, eventually it's Shane Boland. Boland turns around, but it's not going to have the power that it needs. And testing times there for Ballyhaunis, and they try to get it out again. And driving out with it here now is the number 21, Jason Coyne. James Lyons. Lyons over here to Coyne again. Coyne back to Phillips. Phillips gets to his feet. Turns, tries to make an angle. Phillips from way out on the right hand side. And what a point by Adrian Phillips, his third of the afternoon.
Yeah, great score there by Adrian. It just shows exactly what county finals are about. Tooreen had 2 chances of a goal up there, well blocked by the Ballyhaunis backs, cleared up the field, and then a brilliant point up the far side. Like that's what championship hurling is all about.
Ballyhaunis back to within a point of their great rivals from out the road, of course. So many of them related to each other, so many of them mates with each other, went to school together. Here just down the road in Ballyhaunis Community School. And they certainly haven't gotten bored of playing each other yet. Stephen Hoban hooking it down the line, but again just an inaccurate pass. Tooreen get it out. Sean Regan, the man from Ballina, with the shot, but it's going to drift over to the left and wide.
Yeah, bad wide there because Sean had plenty of time. Tooreen are making great use of the sweeper there. David Kinney is either sweeper or Stephen Coyne the sweeper. They're the one or two of them is standing back the whole time. A lot of the Ballyhaunis clearances are going to them, so that's something they need to look into at half time. See, David Kinney now is left in his own there.
Sean Regan jumping for that ball, but wasn't able to get it. Tooreen come out with it again. Conor Henry. Oh, that's an ambitious point, it has to say, but it drifts over to the right and wide. Tooreen seem to be taking on a lot more ambitious shots, I would say.
Yeah, like they're shooting on sight rather than sort of steadying up. Like there's 2 points that have been missed there now, one by Sean Regan and one by Shaney. I was just looked up when he hit the ball, and Owen Delaney was inside on his own that he could have slipped it into. But like again, that's the championship of county final day. People just take a shot, and some days it works, some days it doesn't.
And There it is, half time, and it's as even as we expected here in Ballyhaunis. It's Ballyhaunis 1-5, Tooreen 8 points. Well, there's always very little to separate these times, and that's exactly how it's played out, Tom.
Oh, absolutely, yeah. You know, like we expected as much. Like once it was a fine day, I expected both teams to go hell for leather for it. But Ballyhaunis surprised me a little bit because I saw them playing in the semi-final against Castlebar, and they weren't playing half as well as they are today now. But their combination work is very, very good. Let themselves down a little bit, and that their half back line are hitting balls up to the Tooreen half back line, and Tooreen are trying to set up a couple of scores there. But yeah, very, very close. You know, like I think there was Tooreen have 4 points scored from play, whereas Ballyhaunis have 3 scores got from play. So, you know, it'll come down to freeze or who fouls the least, I think, out there.
Yeah, not the most high-scoring game in the world. Do you think we'll see more of that in the second half? Do you think with Tooreen operating the sweeper the way they are?
You'd expect that. Like I'm just looking at the 2 benches there, and Ballyhaunis have Cormac Phillips to come on. Tooreen have Brian Morley. So like in the second half, like I'd expect it to be sort of the first quarter anyway, nip and tuck, that no one will want to lose it. But I think whatever team scores a goal, if there's a goal to be got in any of the next 2 quarters, I think that team will win it because it'll rise them a good bit and it'll deflate the other team. You know, so that's where I see it.
Yeah, and certainly we'll be eagerly anticipating the second half of this Mayo Senior Club Hurling Championship final here in Ballyhaunis. It is currently Ballyhaunis 1-5, Tooreen 8 points. We'll be right back with the second half in a couple of minutes. Girl, me and Mahagiv Galair. You're all very welcome back here now for the second half of the Mayo Senior Club Hurling Championship between Tooreen and Ballyhaunis, right here in the heart of Mayo Hurling in Ballyhaunis. And as they were saying here at half time, well, just actually there's a substitution been brought on. It's just been brought to our attention here. Oisin Greeley, the number 13 for Tooreen, has come on in place of Sean.
We're not too sure who in place of yet. I haven't seen anyone come to the bench.
Yeah, it hasn't been officially announced yet now, but I can tell you that Oisin Greeley, who was named to start, and you were actually saying to me just off the air there, Tom, that you were expecting that he'd feature at some point. What do you think he can bring?
He'd bring a bit of speed there. Like Oisin came into us in the county panel this year, and he's great speed. He's developed a good lot. Even physically as well. He's a big, tall fella. He's fast. He's good off both left and right. So I'd expect a point or two from play from him here today.
Neither Sivna from Kilchmar ready to throw the ball in, but certainly does stop the game quite frequently. No changes on the Ballyhaunis team that we can see so far, but that's the only one we can see at the minute. Oisin Greeley is in place of Sean Regan, if I'm not mistaken.
No, Sean is in the middle of the field there. He's in the middle of that schmozzle.
The ball thrown in for the second time in 20 seconds, pretty much. Ballyhaunis trying to counter-attack there now, but it's going to be easily mopped up there by Bobby Douglas. Driven out. You didn't spot who came on there, Tom, by any chance?
I didn't spot it yet now, no.
And it's with Kenny.
To look in the forwards.
Feeney now. Feeney does well to get past a couple of players, or Cathal Freeman rather. Good ball inside here to Liam Lavin. Oh, well one back there by Ballyhaunis, but they're not quite out of the woods yet. Excellently done there by Owen Delaney. Oisin Greeley has replaced the number 9. Conor Henry has just set in front of us here. The referee just trying to...
Yeah, it's Conor he's on instead of, I just see Conor's walking up beside us here. I thought Conor got through an awful lot of work down the first half. But I suppose they're looking to get scores, and that's why they have Oisin in there today. They've changed their team around a little bit. I see Fergal Bold has gone centre field with Sean Regan, and we have Cathal out to the half forward line. So that means that Oisin's gone into the corner. So you have a bit of a change around there, a bit of a shake-up. Ballyhaunis play as they were before.
What sort of impact do you think Freeman can have out there?
Like he scored 2 points from full forward. Like there'll be a little bit more ball out where he is now. I'd expect to get him another 2 or 3 points in play. He's a great man to get long-range points.
And in the meantime, Shane Boland, the Tooreen captain, has just added his 4th point of the afternoon to put Tooreen a point ahead here.
Fourth free from him, yeah, and he's 2 there scored from play.
Of course, he is known to rack up big scores. He scored 12 points against Monaghan earlier on in the year for Mayo. Owen Rowe has the ball here. Owen with an ambitious shot. It's going to tail off to the left. No, it's over the bar. Yeah. And what a score to start off Ballyhaunis' second half.
Absolutely. Outstanding score right from underneath us here. Like hit it to the far post. There's an old thing in hurling that you should never send the ball wide on your own side. So he went for the left-hand side there. And the little bit of a breeze that there brought it in. So an absolutely fantastic point. There's been a couple of good, fantastic scores here today from play.
The ball down the other end of the field there. Gone out of sight there now. No changes on the Ballyhaunis team that we're aware of so far. Just Sean Regan replacing Oisin Greeley.
I see the likes of Cormac Phillips and Jack Coyne warming up there. So those are 2 subs that I would expect to see coming in at some stage, assuming that both of them are injury free.
You're saying the Ballyhaunis are playing down into the scoring end this half, Tom. What does that mean?
Yeah, I was saying that to you off air there, that like usually when we used to come out training, we'd always go to the goal that was nearest the dressing rooms, and like traditionally when we always played there, be it either hurling or football, that goal was always called the scoring goal, and if we had a choice of a toss, we used to always try and play into that in the second half.
They're just ready to resume there now. Ballyhaunis goalie Donal O'Brien driving it out the field. Fair puck of the ball on that occasion. Of course, it has the assistance of the wind, and it's won there by Adrian Phillips, but it's just over to the right and wind. And just looking at the flags beside us here, Tom, the wind is definitely going to be a factor in this half, you'd have to feel.
The wind is definitely going to be a factor, and it's going to be a factor into the scoring end, as we called it earlier on. Yeah, it's going to be down into the town end goal. Like Owen Rose point there, he scored it, he hit it for the left post, and it was the wind that brought it in there. So yeah, it will be a factor and has been a factor so far.
Three minutes gone here in this second half of the Mayo Senior Hurling Championship final. Still on a knife edge in case anyone joined us late. It finished 8 points to 1-5 in favour of Ballyhaunis at half time. Join. Get it out to around the middle of the field. It's knocked down. Ballyhaunis can make a counter attack here. It's with Jason Coyne. He has pace, Coyne, and Coyne wins the free there. Just ran directly at them and he got the dividend in the end. And it's going to be a fairly puckable free, you'd imagine, for Ballyhaunis now.
Absolutely, yeah. The last 3 or 4 frees that Ballyhaunis got, they were in a scoreable position. They seemed to get possession and take the Tooreen lads on, and they're being fouled and getting a couple of nice scores off that. So it seems to be one of their replies going out today is to, when they get the ball, especially anywhere from midfield or half forward line on, is to take them on and hopefully get a free.
Heath Higgins standing over this. Went quiet there for a period in the first half, but he's going to get off the mark here. That's Keith's third point of the afternoon. And the Ballyhaunis are his fourth point rather, and he's in front again. Yet to score from play though, Keith Higgins, and we know the kind of influence he can have. Well won there by Shane Boland. Played so well in that first half. Ball in well mopped up there by the clear centre back Owen Collins, but they get it back again.
Great free one there by Fergal Boland, using his head, got possession. Lad had his arm round him, just got him and pulled him down to the ground with him. Just looking here in front of us, we have Stephen Coyne and Keith Marco, one another. Probably the two elder statesmen of the two teams. Both went to Australia together, went to school together, socialised together, and are best pals. So that's what today is all about, you know, like two parochial teams playing against one another, and two good friends marking one another. And once the match is over, shake hands and back to normal.
Shane Boland for his first point of the second half. And his fifth point of the game there now. That has restored parity here in Ballyhaunis.
Fifth point from a free there. He's two scored from play as well, so 7 in total, which is great to see from him.
He can hit them from everywhere. Phillips gets the ball back there. 3 points to his name already here today. And it's going to be another free into Ballyhaunis way over there on the left hand side. Referee certainly letting very little go there today, Tom.
Yeah, he's letting very little go. Like he doesn't want those shamazas that we had here before taking place. So like anytime there's a bit of a battle between the teams, he's given a free in, you know. But he's been fair now, in fairness to him. Like the free count is similar between both of them. I suppose the one downside to the match is that there's an awful lot of frees. There is, every time there's a bit of action, it's been held up with a free.
Higgins standing over the ball here for another fairly puckable free. Jason Coyne looked like he was making a move for an easy ball, but Keith had his mind made up. He was going putting that one over the bar, and he's put Ballyhaunis ahead.
Yeah, good score there from him. That's his, I think I've it down here, is his 5th point. But again, as you say, none from play yet. But hopefully he'll improve on that for Ballyhaunis'.
5 points from play from Higgins, of course, to give you an idea of just how dangerous he is. He scored 1-12 in the semi-final when they hammered Castlebar in Balladreen. Good hook there, but it's going to be another free in and a player down as well, just off your camera in the meantime.
Callum Gardner.
Yeah, Callum Gardner, unfortunately, just 21 years of age. He plays a bit of football with the club as well there, wearing that green helmet just on the ground here now. As we said, the physio will be kept busy today, and certainly appears to have been the case.
Oh, absolutely, yeah. You know, like the ground is a bit heavy as well, which is not doing any favours. And you know, like as I said to you at the outset, they're like Ballyhaunis are on. You know, they've had 19 games in the past 21 weeks, and with 14 or to 16 dual players, like that has to take its toll. But so far, things are going fairly well for them. Callum will be one of the dual players there. He plays centre forward on the football team or in the half forward line. So he's been on the go for the last 19 weeks.
Yeah, certainly if there's any celebrations tonight, it'll be Mayo and 7-up, I'd say. Which certainly for the guys that'll be getting ready for our county final again in a week's time, you'd have to feel.
Oh, absolutely, yeah, absolutely. Yeah. It's all about when you come to this time of the year, and with COVID and everything, you know, like the matches are sort of stockpiled one after the other. So, like, I think when they let the handbrake down, they will let it down.
Callum Gardner just slowly getting one to his feet there. The 21-year-old Mayo hurling panellist. Just fixing the guard there. Getting it. Referee just checking, is he okay?
Yeah, and it was one of the nice things that happened there at the beginning of the match today was the minute silence for that young lad that was killed a bit poking around in St. Kieran's College in Kilkenny there during the week. It was nice to see it, and I suppose this is the first county final that has been played since that event happened. I know there was one at 1:30 in London today, but this is the first one where this is the first one in Ireland, so I'm glad to see that, and I hope the family and the two families can take some solace from it.
Yeah, certainly that awful tragedy that occurred there down in Kilkenny during the week. Always good to see the hurling community stand in solidarity with that family. Tooreen just trying to emerge with the ball here. Of course, certainly not the worst day weather-wise. Very mild, very damp here, but certainly pitch very heavy.
Yeah, it was 15 degrees in the car coming in, which was great, but like as the evening gets on, it gets a little bit colder. I think it's another throw ball in here for another one of those schmozzles. So like as we say, once the gang gets together like that, he just blows it up and throws the ball in.
Yeah, some of the Ballyhaunis panellists you can see there's 16 of them involved with the footballers in a week's time. See some of them there in their tracksuits just on your camera, and it's taking a bit of a hit there by Jason Coyne, and looks like it's going to be another card here. We'll see what the outcome is. Kieran McDermott just seems to
pleading his case there.
Yeah, certainly.
Yeah, I think
there, Jason Coyne.
Yeah, I think the player that's down there from Tooreen anyway was down there before the ref threw in the ball, you know, so I was surprised that he threw it in while your man was down and he had the helmet off.
More hurling, one man is saying to me here, but unfortunately we have another injury there to Jason Coyne, the 24-year-old. He's 4 senior hurling championship medals already with Ballyhaunis, teacher based in Dublin. Also be lining up with the footballers in a week's time.
Yeah, he's one of the top scoring players in the football. He's scored a good bit from play. A brother of Jack, who's also tugged out here and warming up.
Certainly two talented lads. Of course, Jack Coyne could make an appearance there. No doubt they're saving them for football probably later on in the week. Former Mayo under-20 football captain and current member of the Mayo panel. It's tipped by many as a star for the future.
Yeah, they've Jason taken off there now. Whether it's a blood sub or what, I don't know.
Certainly he'll be a loss to Ballyhaunis. Gone through a lot of work there today. As Brennan just tries to get out there, but he wins his free out. Referee certainly letting very little go here today.
Yeah, himself and the officials are keeping a good handle on it. Like, it's a tough, tight match, and like there's a lot of tight marking. There's a little bit of a handbag stuff going on here in front of us again, but like that's always to be expected when there's a free going to drop in. Again, it's Donny that's going to take it, so like I said earlier on that I'd expect him to throw one or two of these over, and this is one that I definitely expect him to throw it over with the wind in the back.
Donny O'Brien, the man from Silver Mines in the heart of hurling country in County Tipperary.
And we'll follow that through by saying taking a free in the hurling heartland of East Mayo here as well.
Certainly, yeah. You can take the... Certainly he felt when he was coming to this part of the world that there wouldn't be any hurling around the place, but for anyway around here you'll find plenty of balls and poked around, and it's a good puck there by O'Brien. And just a wild pulling it there by Kieran Kiley, but Tooreen bravely emerging with the ball, and it's going to be another free out there.
Another free out there, yeah, and he's given Keith a yellow card there. I presume Keith was probably asking him what's that for. Probably asked him what's that for a couple of times, so I would say that's what that yellow card was for.
That's the 5th yellow card of the afternoon. Just gives you an idea of the physical nature of this clash.
Yeah, it's a physical match, like there's nothing dirty about it. There's no bad stroke, there's no anything like that. It's good, hard, tough hurling, which you expect from two neighbouring clubs. There's a distance of 10 kilometres between them.
And certainly quite a, as you can see, a sizable crowd here today. It's only a quick spin in the road for the Blue Devils of Tooreen. Shane Boland, nice little ball in there to Owen Delaney. Delaney against Austin Lyons, the Ballyhaunis fullback. Delaney swings on it and has the accuracy. The crowd certainly seem to think so, and Tooreen are ahead again.
Yeah, brilliant point there from Owen Delaney. You know, like we've been watching him for the last 2 years in the county, and like he's a very, very, very skillful hurler. You know, he's filled out as well a lot this year. But like there's a superb point there scored from him off his left hand side. Won his own ball, threw it over the bar.
It's going to be another free. Tooreen players don't seem to be too happy there.
No, and I think like both teams are trying to influence the decision making that the referee is making, which is not good either.
Just in front of us here, Brian Morley appears to be getting ready to come on. Imagine he'll be...
Yeah, I'd expect Brian to come on around the middle of the field or half forward. Like Brian is a bit troubled with a lot of injuries over the last year or so. Played a good bit of soccer with Sligo Rovers there for a year and a half. But a fine hurler, like a good runner with the ball, good man to take a score on the run. So I'd be surprised he didn't start, but like he's been plagued with injuries for the last 6 or 7 weeks.
Yeah, Brian Morley's still only 22 years of age. Plays his football with Moore as well too. Of course, dislocated his shoulder there earlier on in the summer. Not an ideal injury in any sport, but particularly when you're a hurler. In the meantime, Keith Higgins with an ambitious free from midfield there, but just drifting to the left and wide, and that you have to feel that was a fairly crucial one. That
was a fairly crucial one, yeah. Like that's the third free he's missed now today, which is unusual for him, you know. You expect that to go. He was aiming for the left and hoping that the wind would bring it in, but it didn't bring it in that time.
Cathal Freeman, the purple helmet, sends a good ball in here. Oh, nice little turn there by Shane Boland. Great little turn. Shane Boland leaves his man for dead. And Tooreen are 2 points ahead.
Tooreen are 2 points ahead there. Shane's third from play, which is great to see. Like again, Cathal, you asked what influence would Cathal have. He's out around the middle of the field spraying ball around. He plays a little bit like a quarterback. You know, that he'd be well able to spray the ball around. He's a good reader of the game, good man to spot it, he whirls with his head up, spotted Shane out in his own out there. Shane got the ball, sold it dummy and threw it over the bar.
Stephen Coyne with the ball there now. And another free in, and appears to be to Ballyhaunis.
Another free in, yeah. Like again, it's Stephen Hoban that got the ball. Danny Huan was trying to clear it there. Stephen stole in between the Tooreen defenders, caught the ball, and again took the Tooreen lads on, and as a result got another free, which seems to, as I said earlier on, seems to be one of their ploys there to take them on as much as possible.
Tooreen 2 points ahead here now. In a fairly good position with 17 minutes played here. That's the 6th yellow card of the afternoon, just been flashed by the referee there off your camera. Just instructing.
Trying to figure out who Brian came on for. I think he came on for Liam Lavin there.
Yeah, it was number 11, yeah. Liam Lavin, just in case anyone didn't see that there. Brian Morley replacing the number 11, Liam Lavin, and you imagine he'll operate around the centre forward position there. Talented young hurler from Tooreen. And Higgins from a much shorter distance than the previous one he attempted. And Higgins.
Yeah, good score over the bar again from that's his 6th one, isn't it? I've it down as.
Yeah. And it's time for the water break here now. There's only, as we expected, a point in it. Dare I say, Tom, are we heading for extra time?
Don't know. We're heading for the fourth quarter now, so it'll be interesting to see. I in my own mind, my feeling is that if any team that gets a goal will probably win it. Both teams playing extremely well. You know, both teams leaving it all on the field. I'm just looking at the scores from play. The Tooreen seem to have scored that little bit more from play than what Ballyhaunis have. You know, whether that'll come down to it at the end or not, I don't know. But they seem to be scoring a little bit more freely from play there. Like I just seen, the Cathal Freeman has 2 scored from play. Shane Boland has 2 scored from play. Owen Delaney has 1 scored from play. So they're getting a lot of handy little scores like that. Where Ballyhaunis depend a lot on the frees, and they're not getting as much out of the possession that they have down here in the town goal.
Yeah, and we were just saying there at half time like that, you know, with all the training that these Ballyhaunis boys have done, that fatigue might be a factor at this stage of the game. What do you think just heading into the final 15 minutes? Will Tooreen be beating fresher, do you think?
As a Ballyhaunis man, I would hope that wouldn't be a factor. But again, you know, like human nature being what it is, you know, it's always in the back of your mind. And if it goes to extra time, you'd be sort of a little bit concerned. But the way Ballyhaunis are playing, no. You know, they're playing extremely well, like they've plenty of energy. Their strength and conditioning boys seem to have done the stuff, but like, you know, I still think there's a kick left in Tooreen, you know, and I expected this to go down to the wire at the end of the day, you know, but like it's all to play for now in this quarter.
Tooreen a point ahead in this, their 10th county final in a row. They're undefeated in Mayo this year so far. They beat Ballyhaunis when they met them earlier on in the round robin stages of the championship this year. And come what may,
Yeah, I think when they played earlier on in the year, it was a little bit of shadow boxing, that both of them were feeling that they would get to the final, and you know, they didn't want to give anything away. And you can see it here today that the teams have lined out differently, and you know, they're playing that a little bit differently as well. So this is what it's all about. The next 15 minutes here now.
Yeah, come what may, the TJ Tyrrell Cup will be staying in East Mayo, where it has been since the last time a team from outside these two clubs won it was 2007, when Ballyhaunis Stephenites, who subsequently folded for a couple of years, won it. And it's still all to play for here. Fergal Boland, who's been fairly subdued in this second half, as we said, just taking a heavy challenge there. It's going to be a sideline cut over here on the right hand side. Oisin Greeley, who, as we said, didn't start the game but has come on the second time, he'll hopefully try to attempt to put that one over.
I'd say to be left to the likes of Shane Boland to throw that one over, or is it Sean Kenny that's taken it? One of the two of them. It's Shane that's taken. No, Sean Kenny that's taken it. He's gone out there to take it. I'm trying to think. I saw the putting up a sign there for sub coming on, but I can't see who came on.
I will make you aware of that as soon as we know it. Sean Kenny, the specialist free taker on the Tooreen team. He's way out the field, but that won't mean much to him. Kenny, just 22 years of age. One of the several members of the Mayo panel on display here today. Kenny doesn't seem to have the distance. He falls into the pearl of Adrian Brennan, the Ballyhaunis co-captain. Nice little ball out there to Callum Gardner. Gardner sweeping up the field, but it's going to be intercepted by Joe Boyle, who's made a lot of key interventions here today, the man from Donegal. Driven in by Gary Nolan, but it's going to be a chase on there for Owen Delaney. Delaney versus Collins. Delaney gets it inside, but it's going to be hard work for Sean Regan to try and get that one. He does. The man from Ballina taking on Austin Lyons. But Regan is brought down. He's probably looking for the foul to be drawn there. Oh, lovely little intervention there by Cathal Freeman. But the referee brings it back. Another man down yet again.
Another man down yet again is right. I don't know what happened over there. Two lads went full-blooded for the ball, and you know, one came off a little bit worse. He seems to be badly injured. I'm trying to figure out who it is. Number 5 in the back for Ballyhaunis, or is it 15? This 5 is Callum Garner.
He seems to have taken quite a heavy hit there, it seems.
Yeah, I think he was caught. I think he was caught fairly low there, going down. Like, and I think that's what happened. Like, we've a good view of it here, but think he's the referee is signaling that something a little bit more serious. It's a bang to the head, so he's waiting for him to go off.
Yeah, and it just, as you've seen, running
which is
onto
protocol.
as you've seen running onto the field there, number 15 Cormac Phillips.
Yeah, I expected Cormac to come on at some stage. He must have been injured, seeing as he hasn't come on so far. Cormac is a good, strong hurler, well able to win his own ball, and hopefully he'll make a difference there. But it's not easy to come on in a full-blooded county final and try and make a difference, like it's matches well up and well on at this stage.
Callum Gardner appears to be making way for him.
Yeah, he's still down, which is worrying, and he's holding his head, which is not a good sign either. But I suppose with all the head injuries now, that they just have to be extra cautious. There's no blood there, which means that it wasn't a belt of a hurley. Number 18 that came on there, I'm just looking at him, it's Jack Coyne, Mayo County football panellist that came on.
Yeah, Jack Coyne, of course, guy with a lot of talent. We said he'd probably come on at some stage. No surprise there.
Yeah, he's on, and I see what he's put on there to mark Shane Boland, because Shane has had a big difference and a big influence there in the second half, and especially since the start of this quarter. So he's put on there to do a man-marking job on him.
I'll take a shot across the field here. Good intervention there by Adrian Brennan, but the ball's not out yet. Tooreen scramble to win it back. Owen Delaney tries to get it. Delaney out here to Cathal Freeman. Freeman shakes off the challenge and puts it up and over the bar.
Yeah, an unusual free there. Cathal took the free. He took it fairly fast and hit it across his own 21-yard line, and the ball came out to him again, and he got it back and threw it over the bar like it was in a scoreable position. So I'm surprised that he didn't go for a score from the free initially himself.
Another player down there. It's the man that just came on there, Jack Coyne. Certainly there was no honeymoon period here.
No, absolutely not. No, it's welcome to County Final 2021 straight away.
And the UL student, of course, very prominent member of the Ballyhaunis football team that'll line out against Mayo Gales in a week's time. Their second county final in 3 years. And to get back to senior football where they feel they belong.
Yeah, it's a big couple of weeks for the town now, like with football and hurling. It's great to see you going, like it shortens the time, like when you realise that Christmas is 5 or 6 weeks away, you wonder how the time has slipped past, but every weekend we're looking forward to a match. As I stated earlier on, like we've been out 19 out of the last 21 weekends, so that's almost a quarter of a year slipped by, and next thing all of a sudden you're looking around and Christmas lights are going up in town, so it's been great for the town to see both the hurling and the football going extremely well, and both of them, sort of getting on and with one another, and like the players being rested and players being looked after like that. So it's brilliant to see, and it's great for the town and great for the young people of the town as well.
Absolutely, and Shane Boland, the Tooreen captain, just getting a yellow card there. He'll have to be careful. 6 points scored already today. He thinks he's now trying to add a 7th, but quick freeze here. He's just going to take his time. Won his first All-Star for Mayo back in 2006, and he puts that one up and over the bar. And it's back to a 1-point game.
Back to a 1-point game with 6 or 7 minutes to go, exactly the way you expect it to be. As you said there at the beginning, the extra time maybe creeping into play here eventually.
14 points to 110 reads the score. Us heading into full time here. Get another scramble for the ball. Owen Collins plays it back to Donal O'Brien. O'Brien driving it out the field, but referee spotted a foul there, and
foul on Donny there as he cleared the ball by Cathal Freeman, and I'm assuming that it's a free where the ball lands. That's generally what happens, and the referee is walking up, which that should bring it back even if it's scored.
And it's going to be a yellow for Cathal Freeman. Yet another. It's the 8th yellow of the afternoon. Of course, Ballyhaunis without the services of Jason Coyne, who was sent off there earlier. got to bring that to your attention, our apologies. So 14-man Ballyhaunis trying to win this back here, and a bit of a dispute over where did the ball exactly land.
Well, I know where it landed, but I won't say any until the ref has a decision made. You know, like they're saying one line, Ballyhaunis is saying another. You know, if you dropped it in between, it'd be fair.
Heather McSivney, who's refereed this game cautiously, it has to be said. He says, just putting his cards away, that he's flashed a good bit here today. Now Keith Higgins has the chance to level this game. Getting into the 55th minute of the second half here now. Higgins to add a 7th point. Good connection. And it's gone over the bar. Big score there for Ballyhaunis.
Yeah, absolutely, and it brought them even again. And I suppose both teams would have prepared for, you know, coming down the final stretch as to what they're going to do and what they're not going to do. And it's a matter of keeping their heads together now. I suppose with these level scores, if I'd be looking upon it as that the team that fouls the least will probably win this.
It's about 12 degrees here today, but it's about to get an awful lot hotter. Both teams going for the jugular. Linesman John Walker just signalling it's going to be a sideline puck in favour of Tooreen. Tooreen have only scored 5 points in this second half. Certainly far short of the 9 points they got so far.
Yeah, like the majority of those were from play. Like they've got one or two nice ones there from play.
Ballyhaunis very much been kept in the game by that goal from Adrian Phillips in the first half.
It's a crucial free here now again. I just think that the team that fouls the least for the next few minutes will win it. There's another free the Ballyhaunis have given away, you know, in a very scoreable position with two ace marksmen, Sean Kinney and Shane Boland here.
Referee Adrian McSivney just taking names there again.
Yeah, I hope his pencil doesn't run out. He's 8 yellow cards given out, a lot of names in the book, but that's his 9th yellow card given out there now. But like that's the way it is, you know, in a tight parochial game like that, where you have two neighbouring clubs playing. Like they'll always be like that, pushing and dragging. No, everyone wants bragging rights. No one wants to be going in for a cup of tea in the neighbour's house and saying that they were put on their back by the other fella. So that's the way it is.
Certainly not. And Jack Coyne, the latest man to have his name taken into the book. Well, it's one of them kind of days. Kill or be killed.
That's it.
Shane Boland standing over this free now to put Tooreen back into the ascendancy. Boland, and has he got the accuracy? Yes, he does.
Yeah, umpire was a little bit slow in putting it up, so we weren't sure what was happening there. But a good score there from Shaney again.
Boland's 7th of the afternoon. He's done the bulk of the scoring here today, of course. Brother of Fergal Boland.
Yeah, Fergal just didn't get into the speed of the game today. He was taken off there, you know. So like he just didn't get into the game. I thought he'd have a huge influence on the game. It's great to see him. Great to see him playing hurling again. You know, like because we were having a pint down the pub there recently. We were just commenting that he had 22 league and championship matches with Mayo in the last 2 years and has only played 20 minutes of one of them. You know, which is a pity for a young lad like that. But great to see him back out hurling, and he's playing brilliant football as well. Since Mayo were knocked out at the championship.
Owen Collins pulling on that one. It was an ambitious shot, but just drifting over to the left and wide. And Tooreen will be no hurry to take this puck out.
Absolutely not, you know. And as I said earlier on, you should never send the ball wide on your own side. And unfortunately, that's what Owen did. He hit it from the left and went wide on the left. If it was anyways a little bit further to the right, it possibly would have went over the bar.
Game still alive. This will get the chance thanks to Dan Tarpey, who kindly provided the trailer that we're in here today. Very kind, has kept us cool and dry on this mild autumn day.
Absolutely, and have a good view of the match as well. So it's up at a good height, and it's, you know, it's an ideal height for viewing a match and commenting on a match as well.
Boland standing over this. It down the line, but it's going to go out over the sideline. I suppose not the worst mistake to make when you're ahead.
Oh no, it is. Yeah, like every ball's a prisoner here at this stage now, because like bad sideline means it's a possession back to Ballyhaunis, and possession back to Ballyhaunis to go up this end, they get the score a point, it's back even again, you know, so it's nip and tuck here the whole time.
So we brought forward a bit here, it appears. Nathan McSimmon is just talking to his linesman John Walker again there about the exact position on that sideline. Ballyhaunis still chasing this game. 14 men on the field, of course, after Jason Coyne got sent off there earlier. And
I don't know whether it's a free or a sideline. It seems to be a free because Keith seems to be coming out to take it. You imagine if it was a sideline, he'd be in the danger zone inside here. But I'd say it's a free that he's come out to take.
yeah, certainly the play has been slowed down considerably. Nathan McSimmon blowing for a lot of frees, a lot of niggling off the ball throughout this game. Keith Higgins a long way out. He's past the halfway line over on the sideline. Higgins has it got the distance. It does, but it doesn't have the accuracy.
Yeah, it doesn't have the accuracy. Unfortunately, you know, but this puck out is fierce important now. It's unusual for Keith today. Like I'd expected him to score 3 or 4 points from play, but he hasn't scored any from play today, which is unusual for himself.
Both teams have scored the exact same 6 apiece in this second half. Really tells you all you need to know.
Yeah, with the amount of ball going into the Tooreen full back line, if I was involved with the Ballyhaunis team, I'd have Keith stuck in around the goal area, because he's one man that would get a score out there. You know, at present he's playing now out around the middle of the field and in the half back line, you know, and the place I would have him is up around the 21-yard line and see what happens.
And Cathal Freeman just pumping the fist at the awarding of that particular free there.
I was wrong there in saying that Fergal Boland is off. I still see him, he's still out here in front of me. I couldn't see number 12 around the place, but he's still out here in front of us.
Stephen Coyne standing over this, captain of the Mayo team, 35 years of age and still soldiering like a man half his age.
Oh, absolutely. Stephen looks after himself extremely well, you know, like both physically and otherwise. Like he's really looks after himself and looks after after his physical well-being. Like he's a good trainer. He plays hurling only, which is probably stands to him at this age of his life. You know, but there's still plenty of years left in him.
Started hurling for Mayo back in 2003. That's quite a way back. It's fair to say a lot of these guys would have been in short trousers back then. Great block there by Coyne. And there it is. Tooreen are Mayo Senior Club champions for 2021. And on the balance of things, Tom, you'd have to feel marginally probably the better team.
Oh, absolutely, yeah. You know, like they played that little bit better. They got more out of the possession that they had. They've scored more from play as well. You know, they kept Keith, as I said there earlier on, they kept Keith quiet from play as well. If you look at Ballyhaunis, like they had 2 scorers from play. They had Adrian Phillips who scored a goal and a point, and they had Stephen Hoban who scored a point. Whereas Tooreen had a better scatter of scorers from play throughout the field. Just what we expected. You know, it came down to have to fine margins at the end of the day, and I think that was one of them. You know, I suppose a lot of the Ballyhaunis football fraternity will be quite happy that it didn't go to extra time, and even the players themselves will be happy it didn't go to extra time, because if it did go to extra time, you know, like what would it do? How would it take out of the lads that are going to play football next week? You know, but yeah, Tooreen are are worthy winners. I think that they'll develop as this championship goes on now.
And like obviously we mentioned the footballers on several occasions, but was it just the case that Tooreen had that bit more in the legs coming into the crucial moments there in the last 10 minutes?
Yeah, there was 14 to 16 of the players there that played at Ballyhaunis, and that they were dual players. Ballyhaunis had 4 weekends and off since the beginning of June. You know, they've played 19 out of the last 21 weeks. Ballyhaunis played Tooreen here in the round robin series of the championship, and when they did play, like Tooreen had no football or hurling, Ahamore had no football after that, and Tooreen could concentrate solely on hurling. And I just think that the points in play is what stood to them. I thought there'd be a goal or 2 more in the match today, but you know, fair play to Ballyhaunis, they didn't let Tooreen score a goal. You know, so that'll be my thoughts on that.
Yeah, and certainly as I just to reference the comments made by the Ballyhaunis manager JP Cohen that earlier on this week that the team that had won it would be the one that's willing to do the dogging it. Was it simply the case that the likes of David Kenny, Stephen Coyne, Joe Boyle in the half-back line for Tooreen just defended that bit more ravenously, turned over that more ball?
Yeah, I suppose like JP has a little dog at home, a terrier, and I presume what he meant by that was that, you know, like Ballyhaunis would have to be like terriers because they knew what Tooreen were going to bring to it. You know, so like the Tooreen backs played extremely well, as you say there. Like I thought David Kinney was left loose an awful lot there and swept up an awful lot of ball and drove it in. But yeah, Tooreen are worthy winners, you know, like, you know, Ballyhaunis won, you'd say the same thing as well, but I think the fact that there was more scored from play from Tooreen and the fact that they held Keith scoreless from play as well was a big influence. Like I would have expected the Ballyhaunis half forward line to do an awful lot more scoring, and they didn't do that today.
Yeah, and obviously we spoke about quite a bit during the game. Shane Boland, he was in great form today, has to be said as well too.
Yeah, Shane was in great form today, and I've just, you know, like Gas, we were talking about the match there earlier on, about the two neighbouring clubs, about how they know one another and stuff like that. And I was just looking at my own nephew Adrian and Fergal Boland, they're having a chat, and the two arms around one another. They've been in school together, they've been in school's football team together, they've been in college together, they've rented out a house together. You know, that's what this match today is about. Like, they're all know one another extremely well, yeah. But like Shane had a great game there today. Now I just noted down that he had a total of 5 and 3 is 8 points scored today, 3 from play. You know, he scored 3 points from play. Ballyhaunis scored 2 points from play, you know, so like he scored more from play than what Ballyhaunis did, Ballyhaunis forward line did, you know. So Shane had an absolutely outstanding game today, but you always expect that, you know, like even as I said earlier on, pound for pound, like he's an absolutely brilliant hurler, wristy hurler, left hand on top, which is very unusual to see, so he's an extremely good hurler.
Yeah, and they also seem to kind of curtail the influence of a lot of the key players that Ballyhaunis have, the likes of Keith Higgins and Adrian Phillips. They did very well in that regard as well. Oh
yeah, like they're absolutely massive man markers, you know, like if the likes of Michael Morley there, like Michael played full back for us in the county. We hadn't him for 2 or 3 years and we were absolutely thrilled to see him back. You know, Stephen Coyne as well, as cute as a fox. Like Stephen would usually mark Keith, and David Kinney would usually sweep up the ball. You know, so like the Tooreen backs played extremely well, and like even Joe Boyle there, like Joe came into the game like first county final, hard to do. You know, did what he had to do. You know, if you're marking him out of 10, you'd give him a 6, 6.5, 7 out of 10. You know, but the Tooreen backs played extremely well. Like they're as cute as foxes. We've been involved with them, you know, throughout the county team this year and in the last 2 or 3 years, and they know how to mark lads, you know, and how to mark them fairly, and like they didn't give a huge amount of frees away in the full forward line. A lot of the frees that were given out here around the middle of the field.
Yeah, and of course Tooreen, it's worth bearing in mind, still reigning Connacht champions from 2019. They're winning that Connacht title will be very much on their minds, I'd say, over the next couple of weeks. When the celebrations die down, you'd have to feel.
Oh, absolutely, yeah. They're out this day 2 weeks again. I remember meeting Audrey Henry in, I think it was Castlebar, the day the Tooreen played Castlebar, and the last time that Tooreen and Ballyhaunis were in a final, and Audrey was worried. He said that Tooreen didn't play well, and I passed the comment to him that Tooreen always seem to play a little bit better once they get out of Mayo, and I've seen them in the last 3 or 4 years in the Connacht Club Championship, and they play extremely well. I think once the shackles of Ballyhaunis and the local thing is off them, you know, they play a free flowing hurling. A ball like those here in front of us, where Cathal Freeman hit it over to Shane Boland over there, like they throw balls around like that, like they come up against Ordenmore, they come up against Ballinderreen, they come up against teams like that, and you know, the bigger the stage, I think the better they play. I expect them to go extremely well and go far in this.
Yeah, and just to say a word about Ballyhaunis, obviously really valiant defeat, lost a man there at one point in the second half. They're in a huddle with just off the camera there with their arms around each other. They'll be back next year, you'd have to feel, with what they showed here today.
Oh, absolutely, yeah. I was at the county final last year. I was fortunate to be at it. You know, there wasn't too many at it because of the COVID, and I was in because we were involved in the management team of the county. And, you know, shook hands with everyone, the Tooreen lads afterwards, and they went into a huddle like that underneath their own stand. And, you know, you could see and feel the hurt of them. And I think what they did is they bottled that last year, and they kept referencing it all year. They're sort of saying that, we're not going to experience that again, we're not going to experience it again, and they just set their mind that they were going to come back here and they're going to win the Connacht title. And when they heard that, that Connacht was open up again, they decided that they would go for it, so they set their stall out early. And I know that even being involved, and I keep referencing the county team, but like this, what we're looking at out here between Ballyhaunis and Tooreen, they make up 95% of the county panel and the county first 15. But anytime we asked anyone from Tooreen to come into the county panel, they came in. And some of the lads who hadn't even started there today, like Shane Crinigan and one or two more, like they came in and they're getting experience of hurling like that. So, they're always blooding lads like that. So I think that once they left the Adrian Freeman Park last year after the county final, they set their sights on it, that they were going to come back and win the county final, and they did every single thing in their power to do it. And that's why, like, when the final whistle blew here today, like, they were absolutely thrilled. Like, you'd see them jumping in the air, like it was like as if they won their first.
Yeah, certainly it's that hunger that keeps them coming back. And we just see on the camera there Shane Boland talking to members of the media. He's about to accept the cup from County Chairman Liam Moffat in just a couple of short moments there. He'd be your man of the match?
Yeah, he probably would be. He probably would be my man of the match. He did an extreme amount of work out there. Worked very hard. Possibly was head and shoulders above everyone else out there. His close runners up would have been David Kenny and Stephen Coyne, but I suppose generally in matches this time of year you find that it's usually forwards and on matches like this that win man of the match, and that's not being disrespectful to Shane. Like, Shane had an outstanding game there today. When it was in the melting pot he had, and I think the point that he scored out here, that Cahill hit the ball over to him there in the third quarter, like, absolutely stunning point. Gentleman, great lad off the field, come from a great family. Like, I know his mother and father and Fergal very well and would know them extremely well. Like, they're just a super family, super sporting family.
Yeah, and obviously you've been involved with both clubs, but just to kind of look at the big picture for a second, surely it must be and always will be a huge advantage the fact that Tooreen are hurling only, and a lot of the guys who play for the club would be hurling only as well.
Yeah, it goes back to what we were saying earlier on about Ballyhaunis having 16 dual players. Like, yes, Tooreen have a number of dual players, but a lot of them wouldn't be playing championship with Rahamore over the last. There'd be probably 5 or 6 of them, I think, playing championship football with Tooreen. In the last 5 or 6 weeks, we'd say. They played here 5 weeks ago. I think it was this day 5 weeks, if not this day 6 weeks ago. And like, once that match was over, they could say, right, we have 5 weeks to prepare for this. Whereas when Ballyhaunis walked off the field, they said, well, next week it's football, and if we win that, the following week it's football. If we win that, So I think it came down to the likes of that the fact that they had 5 weeks, to concentrate on their points scored and on different things. And I think that was the difference at the end of the day, that they possibly and probably had more hurling over the last 5 or 6 weeks than what Ballyhaunis had.
Yeah, and just overall, obviously Mayo hurling with where it's at the minute, was the game a fair kind of reflection of the standard that's in the county at the minute, do you think?
For the time of year, yes. If this match was played, we'd say like last June or July, and the county final was on the ground, it'd be that little bit harder. The ball would be hopping up into the lads' hands. It'd be a lot better. But yeah, that's the standard that's there. But like, we also got to be cognizant of the fact that today was a county final. No one wanted to lose it. And county finals take on a life of their own. So yeah, it's a good reference. Like, as I said earlier on, like 95 to 98% of the lads out there make up the county panel. The county panel the county team is picked out of both of those, and maybe 1 or 2 from Castlebar, and that's about it. So like, this is where hurling is. This is hurling in Mayo. Like, this is it here in front of us.
Yeah, certainly, and we're just going to wait on for another couple of moments just to present to you the presenting of the cup. The touring captain Shane Boland is the man that's going to be coming up to take it. You see a lot of the younger upcoming Cormogs,
absolutely,
admiring their heroes there.
Absolutely, and they'll go downtown now after this with their chests out, and they'll be in town for the next week and right up to Christmas with their chests out, proud that they've beaten the locals and beaten the crowd in town, which is great. Like, that's what county finals are all about. That's what neighbours are about. Like, they all know one another. They all they're all best pals, best buddies. As I said, my own nephew and Fergal, they were in college together. We were in the houses together. They did the same course together. That's how close these two teams are.
supporters just making their way over to the presentation area there, where County Chairman Liam Moffin will present the TJ Turrell Cup to
Shane. Yeah, like usually it'll be Jimmy that will present it, but I was talking to Jimmy there during the week, and he's a family wedding to go to today, so he was extremely disappointed that he couldn't be here. So he said that Liam was stepping in from, which is great.
Yes, good to see that. Of course, Liam Moffat, the outgoing county board chairman, has done the county a good service here today.
Oh, absolutely, yeah. Like, sure, we always slag Liam that he got his first start with the hurlers. Like, he played county hurling for Mayo as well, you know, and under 21 hurling, yeah, absolutely, yeah. You know, so we always say that to him when we meet him, and you know, it's great to see him. Great to see him here, and I know he's delighted to be here as well.
Yeah, and there's a lot of talk about, I suppose, pitches and stuff like that, but I have to say Ballyhaunis holding up very well here today.
Oh, absolutely, yeah. Like, I'm just looking at a girl walking across there with white boots on her, and like there isn't any bit of muck or dirt on it, which shows how good the field is. You know, it's probably a little bit like the golf club in Ballyhaunis. You can play golf in Ballyhaunis, you know, like every day of the year, bar when there's snow there, and you know, there's with here as well. Like the ground is so good that it's very, very dry. There was no sliding, there was no slip tattling or anything like that. Just see the Ballyhaunis SUV being driven out of the grounds there. They have I saw on the way in that they have an SUV for being raffled at €25 ticket, and I don't know when the draw is on, but I know that they're selling tickets there at €25 a piece for an SUV. So good prize.
And
so there wasn't only one prize on offer here today.
Certainly, yes. And well, of course, the most important one is gleaming right in front of us there, the TJ Turrell Cup, about to be presented by Chairman Liam Moffat to the victorious captain Shane Boland. And I suppose last thing we need to mention, it just seemed that there was a couple of Ballyhaunis people not happy with the amount of time that was played at the end. What did you think yourself?
Sure, yeah, but sure, look at if Tooreen were a point behind and he blew it up like that, and Ballyhaunis were a point ahead, you know, it'll be the same thing. Like, no one likes losing, you know. As I said, there's a year of hardship now that the Ballyhaunis people have to go down and face the Tooreen people, and they're the county champions, whereas Tooreen had to put up with it for the last year. You know, everyone has their own timekeeping. If four of us looked at our watches, probably gives us 4 different times now at present, you know. So, like, one could be 20 to 4, another could be 22 minutes to 4, another one could be 3:30, another one could be 10 to 3, you know. So, like, everyone has their opinion on time, but like, look at the ref's decision is right at the end of the day. The ref makes the decision, and you know, it's down in history now. Tooreen are the champions by a point.
Tooreen county champions 2021, and Shane Boland is the captain, and you can see the smiles of delight. It's their 10th county final in a row, but they'll certainly be back for more, you'd have to feel. And next up for the men from Tooreen is they will play the Roscommon County Champions on the 27th or the 28th of November as they seek to reclaim their Connacht title, which they last won in 2019. Well, just a couple of thank yous. Thanks, of course, to everyone who tuned our way here today from Tooreen, Ballyhaunis, or any neutrals that were tuned in our way today. A big thanks to all the officials and all the spectators who showed up here today and made this competition what it is. A special thanks to Dan Tarpley, who provided this wonderful trailer here today that has kept myself and Tom dry, and of course to Tom Phillips. Thanks very much for your expertise and analysis here today. And lastly, just want to say thanks to everyone who tuned our way here today on Mayo GTV. Gurmila Mahu of Galera.